On today's episode, we dive into the next season of PGF. Is this turning out to be the professional sports league of jiu-jitsu that everybody's been asking for?
Bushesha versus Hickson, barbecue chicken.
Has Joe Rogan lost touch with the new jiu-jitsu community?
Honey, where's my dinner?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the pod, episode 115 of the BJJ Balance podcast. My name is Kenny. I'm here today with Mr. Oast Nation himself, Matthew Vega. Brother, how was your week? What's going on?
Bangerang, guys. Week is good. I'm fired up. I'm ready. I'm turning the heater on for the first time this week. It was cool, dude. Did we need to? No, we didn't. But I just wanted to make it feel right. Watched Home Alone 2. Home Alone 2. Hot take, better than Home Alone 1 to me. Pigeon Lady.
Pigeon Lady. Schwartz Toy Store.
Yeah, when the guy walks in and he goes, Cliff was there. And then the old bellhop guy's name is Cliff. And they look at him like, what the fuck? That's my favorite. Oh, man, I just love that movie, dude. Part 2, way better. Pigeon Lady cannot get it. Call back to like Pigeon Lady cannot get it, Kenny.
He's looking at it. He's like, is there anything redeeming in here that I missed? Or
we're starting to make some progress as a podcast. We're starting to transition from a podcast to like a real podcast, I would say. Well, this dude's chilling to dude's chilling going somewhere, which I'm we got a sponsor deck coming out. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's done. It's ready.
We got that done. We'll be sending that out to you. So if you are a company and you were looking to be part of the show or have a segment in the show, or there's going to be tier levels to sponsorship for us, there's going to be, and you're looking to like whatever, contribute and be part of the growing, which is us and you guys. We would love to listen to you guys and email Kenny at BJJ Balance. What's the email? At Gmail?
Kenneth.wilson@bjjbalance.com.
Kenneth, you know we're mean fucking business.
Using the full name. Yeah.
Guys using a government name. I got a lot of flack. So I had like a little, my wife had a little get together with some of the girls on the jiu-jitsu team yesterday. And then the husbands ended up getting invited and it became like a whole thing, right? So had a little get together and my wife goes out in the group chat and starts calling me a 1950s house husband, assuming because I don't do stuff around the house like that she would do. You know what I mean? I do the other stuff. That's what makes us a team. That's what makes us bond. And so people were giving me flack about that. Mad that I wasn't on the Traeger smoking the meats. My wife cooks. She cooks great. She's fantastic. She's unbelievable. One of her many black belt skills is she could really throw down. Excuse me. I'm not going to take my blue belt cooking ass out there when 30 people are coming over. What are we talking about? This is her. This is it. This is what she wants. When there's a noise in the middle of the freaking night, who's clearing the house in his underwear? This guy. Who's sitting in the bed? Like, is everything good out there? She is. We know what the deal is.
Yeah. For a Christmas dinner or Friendsgiving dinner for your people, that's her world's performance.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She's going out. This is what I trained for all year. I'm coming to show you guys the best of what I got.
Yes. I have sous chef. Hey, can you cut these onions? Can you help me grade this cheese? Yeah, sure. Why not? You know what I mean? I'll be a uki or whatever the fuck they call that in jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? But like, test these mashed potatoes. They taste good. Fantastic. That's probably the best part about married to someone who could really, really cook is you get to taste test everything before. How's this taste? Any more salt? It tastes great. Yeah. Try more salt on it. I'll try that one too. And then, but the worst part, to help them with the dishes afterwards. Because if you married a girl who really knows how to throw down in the kitchen, she has all these certain kind of equipment that so hard to clean and you don't even need it all. I'm like, what do we use this thing for?
Right.
Why do we have a blowtorch? To make the bread darker? Aesthetics?
Yeah.
Cool.
You're like, that seems excessive.
I need to buy a little propane tank. Got it.
Yeah. Hey, man, I get it. I wanted to make it over there last night because I've not tried Corinne's cooking yet, and I hear nothing but great things from the people who have. We just got caught up with other things, but
the kid got the gray. Gandalf the gray belt, dude. Congrats.
Very stoked. Very stoked. Very happy. We had a little conversation last night before bed about how, you're not a white belt. You're not a white belt with the black stripe anymore. Like, you moved up. Kids are going to be looking up to you. Like, it's time to lock in and make sure that you're paying attention so they see you by example and they pay attention as well. And yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, she's pretty excited. I want to say something really quickly. There's a lot of people that watch us on YouTube that don't watch us on Spotify. There's a lot of people that watch us on Spotify that don't watch us on YouTube. If you wouldn't mind doing us a favor, if you're one of those guys, if you're a YouTube guy, if you can jump over to the Spotify, type in BJJ Balance and hit the follow button, it's just going to help get us. It'll boost us in that algorithm to help feed us to more people. You don't have to listen to us there. That's fine. And if you're a Spotify guy, if you wouldn't mind going over to the YouTube and just hitting the sub button, I would greatly appreciate that. Again, it will just boost us in the algorithm for YouTube. You don't have to watch us there. It's the same content in both places. That's it. It just,
if you're away on the holidays and you're fucking staying at like an Airbnb and you go, they have a YouTube on the Roku, just go on that YouTube and then find us, hit that sub. That's a freebie for the boys. That's what I do at Airbnbs. I sub all my shit.
That's funny.
Pro tip.
We have something coming up this week. Well, there is something coming up this week. Whether we're there or not, we're still working those details out, but we're trying. But the next PGF season is going to be coming down the pipe at the beginning of next year. And they're starting to do the qualifiers. And I went to go train with my boy Drew, the most hated man in PGF. I went to go train with him on Wednesday at his gym, 10th Planet Marietta. Did a little no-gi action. And afterwards, I stayed around and I was talking with him a bit. And so next weekend, I think it's the 12th or the 12th. 13th. Next Saturday, there's a PGF qualifier here on the West Coast. And we were kind of talking about like what the qualifiers are. Drew's talking about how he's creating a certification course for PGF referees. And they're going to be doing qualifiers all over the country. But something that we had talked about PGF after the first season that we went there, and we started to kind of speculate and brainstorm about all the cool stuff that PGF could turn into. A lot of that is starting to happen now. Now, I don't know if that was already something that they had in the works or if maybe some of our conversations bled into, how they were deciding to set things up with logistics and whatnot. But there's a lot of cool stuff happening that Matt and I had touched on in the past. Not saying that I'm taking any credit for it or Matt's taking any credit for it, but I just wanted to share it with you because we think it's cool. And that's why we talked about it to begin with. So a couple of things. The teams, every season they used to just have 4 random teams and they would essentially get like people to sponsor a team. Like they had a first form team at one point in time and they had an ex-martial team at one point in time. Now the teams are going to be regional based off of cities. So official teams we have right now are the Philly Phenoms. We have the Alabama Twisters. We have the New Hope Kings are rebranding as the Las Vegas Kings. And then there's a 4th team. There's a 4th team.
I think they're about to drop a 4th team soon.
Oh, okay.
The Haulers or whatever.
So there's going to be a 4th team dropping here soon. So there will be 4 official teams. And from my understanding, the official weight classes so far are going to be like 175 and 205, I believe. And when a team has a draft and they draft the athletes, it's going to be with real money. It's going to be a contract. So not just for the season, you'll be contracted for multiple seasons. There will be free agency. There will be trades. The qualifiers qualify you to get into the next draft. Some of the teams are doing their own qualifiers as well, from which they are allowed to, I think, pull 1 to maybe 2 athletes. That doesn't necessarily qualify them for the team. That just qualifies them for the upcoming draft. And then there's going to be non-team related qualifiers all over the country where they're going to be having athletes competing for qualifying spots for the next draft. And when you get drafted, you will be a professional grappler assigned on a contract to a team. And last season we saw it where they switched from doing the season over 1 week span to doing season over 3 months. When you are competing in that season, you will be living in Vegas for that 3-month span of competition. So you don't fly home every week. You literally will be staying at a place in Vegas with your team. You'll be training in Vegas with your team, with your coaches. And you'll be competing once a week, 3 matches per night with your team for 3 months straight. And if your team wins the comp, you'll bonus with your team. You'll make your money with your team. And if you are in the points qualifier for the finals, for the extra finals bonus, then you do that as well. But it seems like a lot of the ideas that Matt and I had tossed out there that could be really cool about this idea of a professional grappling league are finally taking hold. And it's really cool to see that, because it's like those were things that we were speculating, like, that wouldn't it be cool if they did this? Wouldn't it be cool if they did that? And they're putting those things into effect. And it's like, it's either A, they already had their finger on the pulse, or B, they're delivering what the people want, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I have people hitting me up that are just, you know, have seen PGF content through us and then have found their way to the PGF page. And then they watch these things and like, dude, this is like the most exciting rules format in professional grappling. You know what I mean? They don't have a pit or anything like that. Whether they move that way in the future is to be determined. But as far as like the rule set, to keeping the pace, to keeping it exciting, to keeping the viewer engaged, to take about all the things that the general population that doesn't grapple dislikes about jiu-jitsu, when people are booing at UFC fights because they just see 2 dudes laying on each other and they don't understand what's going on, the PGF rule set kind of mitigates all that stuff and keeps the action moving forward. And you get penalized if you take a step back and you aren't engaging. And I think it's really cool to see the growth of that. And so what we'd like to do is, if Matt and I are able to make it out to this qualifier, we're not 100%, you know, decided what's going to happen exactly, but it could be something along the lines of Matt and I just watch some matches. We maybe have a little interview with BMAC, something short. Maybe BMAC gives us his take on what he's seeing in the matches from like a outside perspective. Like, hey, I'm not commentating on the fighters, but I'm commentating on the rule set, or, you know what I mean? Like why certain things are happening, and see here when they're doing this here, this is why they're doing this. You know what I mean? Like kind of giving us like an inside understanding of the rules and what the reasoning behind it. And then we'll have him on at a later date, maybe a week or 2 after that. And I don't think we'll even, the content from the qualifier, I don't think we're going to publish that immediately. I think I'm going to save that for the interview and splice that in as B-roll. So that when we do talk to BMAC in this remote interview, that we're able to pepper in some of the content and kind of help him explain some things. And then we can kind of reference back to what we saw. Hey, remember when we were out at the qualifier and we saw this? Like, that was really cool, and kind of like splice that content in. So this is ground zero. If you think you are him, if you think you are that dude when it comes to no-gi grappling, and this is what you want to do, whether you're we've seen purple belts in PGF do be very, very susceptible, very, very successful. If you think this is what you want to be, 10 years from now, I don't know if these qualifiers are going to exist, because I feel like this is going to blow up. This PGF is going to blow up, and the teams are going to be set, and it's going to be big time. That's the goal from that BMAC and Zoltan want. They want it to be a pro sport. But right now, it's kind of like the movie The League of Their Own. They're having pretty much open qualifier tryouts. If you do good in these tryouts and you win these tryouts, you can
get on one of these teams. You could get drafted by one of these teams. You could become a reserve for one of these teams. And what happens? We've seen it. We've seen it in multiple years. Guys who are in the PGF are competing at CJI. They are competing at UFC BJJ. Mm-hmm. This is your ticket. When does Willy Wonka hand you a gold card? This is it. For if you're in the grappling space and jiu-jitsu and no-gi grappling is what you want to make for your career, and this is what you want to build your brand, and you want cameras on you, and you want to build your social media, winning these qualifiers is how this is the answer to all of your prayers, all of what you want. Show out, show your name, tell them who you are, and change your life by doing what you love. Right. This is it. Walk on. Dare to be great. Like these qualifiers, I don't think these qualifiers are going to be around here in like 4 or 5 years. Yeah. I think these teams are all the regions are going to get filled. Soon there'll be 32 regions, 32 teams, just like a real pro team, and everything will be full, and free agents, players will be going back and forth. The rosters will probably be 15 guys deep. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's going to be like hard to get in. Right now is the time. If you want to get in, this is the time to get in. This is unheard territory in jiu-jitsu.
Another thing, something that Matt and I, when we went to these PGF events in the past, and we would sit down with these guys, and we would see like there's guys that are the it guys. There's guys that have the look, the style, there's your Chris Olivos, the guys that they stand out. They're great jiu-jitsu athletes, phenomenal jiu-jitsu athletes, but they also have the personality to draw the crowd in. That's how you get fan favorite athletes. Think of people in other sports, professional sports. I tell Matt all the time, one of my favorite people, period, in history, just favorite people all around, Marshawn Lynch. Mm-hmm. Marshawn Lynch is hilarious. He's a great dude. He just, he constantly gives back to his community, and he was phenomenal in the NFL. But what we know him for are his antics, his on-camera interviews after the games, where I'm just here so I don't
get fined. Yep.
Yeah, things like that. Those are the little things that made. People aren't quoting Marshawn for, the amazing plays that he did. They do, but it's those on-camera moments after the game that you're just like, this is what makes him beast mode. This is what makes Marshawn. It's his personality. And this is your opportunity to show up, be the great jiu-jitsu athlete, but but show out your personality. Show why these people why they should pick you to qualify for the draft, why you should be picked to be put on one of these teams. Because if you have a good social media presence, if you're able to show out in front of the camera, more than winning the match and screaming, every fucking jiu-jitsu guy does that. We've seen it a million times. Mm-hmm. But what are you going to do that's different? What are you going to do that puts the eyes on you? What are you going to do that turns it into a viral clip, from just in a viral clip of that great submission that you did? That's just like, holy shit. And then he did this afterwards, or he said this to that guy in the crowd. Mm-hmm. Or what are you going to do that's going to make you that guy that's going to win you fans?
Right.
Because that's how your star rises. That's how your dollar amount goes up. That's where, when teams start bidding wars on you, they're just like, dude, this guy's going to bring attention to our new franchise grappling team. You're going to make your team more money, which is going to make you more money.
And like, if you're high up and you're looking to own a sports team, I know there are I wish that I could own one of these teams. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
If I could own one of these teams, like SoCal Smash, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not going to give away my names. But if I could own one of these teams, it would be pretty freaking awesome. But if you got money and you got commas in your account and you're looking to be like, and you're like, I want to own a pro sports team. How hard is it to own an NBA team? Hard. Yeah. NFL. all these
near
votes.
impossible. Near impossible.
Near
Billions.
impossible. You could own a team. You could own a professional team.
Right.
This is it. And what you're going to get at price wise is probably cookies compared to like now. What if this turns out jiu-jitsu is as great as we know it is, and it turns out to be like NHL or something like that, and now these teams are worth what, $1 billion?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, think that too. If you're looking to invest and like purchase a team and make Kenny and I the face of your franchise, fine. Yeah. Like, hey.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a lot of cool stuff going on, and we're excited to again be privileged enough to be invited along for the ride and to have this kind of insider access that we're being offered. And
I will be at the final of this next season. I will. Now during the season, your boy works a 9-to-5 job. I work real job, so I can't go every Wednesday. But when the playoff and the final is happening that day, last year I had a seminar and I couldn't go, but I won't have a seminar booked. I will be there, and I one of the best times of the year is watching those guys go at it for 100K, which is crazy, and I will not miss it this year.
Any other wild? Oh, you posted a clip, not in jiu-jitsu news, but grappling related, of the RAF event. I don't know if you watched any of that. Super cool. The RAF event. I don't know what it's something American, real American.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Got a little scrap with
Muggsy and
Giorgio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, in wrestling, that's what everybody wants to watch. Those two guys go at it.
Right.
And they did.
Even
Muggsy,
your comment,
hey,
you're just like, I've been waiting for this.
You're going to grapple with a guy, take your shoes off, brother. See, wrestlers, they don't know. They don't know. Jiu-jitsu got to fucking off, dude. Shoes are off. You went wrestling match on the concrete and fucking church fucking slides, bro. This guy had church shoes on. He's slipping all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. Didn't break the table. That was cool. I mean, that's what people want to see. Now, are they going to build off this?
Right.
Are they going to build off this?
Because Muggsy's already had a match. The last RAF event, the one before this one, Muggsy had a match in it. And he went against like a real deal, like
wrestler, yeah.
Collegiate, high level wrestler. And Muggsy was a high school wrestler. He just blew up because he was right place, right time, and he has good content, and he was smart. He didn't just say like, cool, I had a viral clip and hopefully something works out. Like he sees the day and he captured that, and he's become something because of that. And he's become a face in wrestling, which is awesome. That's the sport needs that. And he's trying to help these other guys in the sport of wrestling figure out how you can make money in wrestling. You don't have to go another route, which is great.
Where can they make the most money? You think the RAF, obviously they've already established that the thing's there.
Yeah. I think so.
Do they wait and they say, hey, they pitch it to Craig or they pitch it to PGF, be like, hey, like traditional wrestling super fight.
Right.
I mean,
you mean cool for their particular match.
Right. Or does Dana get them in on UFC BJJ contracts?
If I had to guess, if I was a betting man, I would say that situation was probably, there was some actual tension there, but I would bet that was a work and that is going to be leading up to an RAF match.
I would hope so. Yeah. I hope so.
And if you watch, I watched the first, not the first, but two matches ago, I watched it and it's phenomenal quality. It is an elevated stage. So they can go off the mats, you know what I mean? Like they do, like, or they technically can't go off the mat. Like they'll hurt themselves, but I would like to see, I guess they couldn't, I guess they won't do any sort of a pit wall thing because that would be altering. They're trying to keep it true to the sport of wrestling. But maybe you got to take it off a stage and put it on the ground level. Like it would be like NCAA championship finals. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be safe.
But that's a good match to see.
The event space looks good. The quality production looks good. Like it could be a viable alternative route for a lot of these a lot of these high level collegiate and freestyle wrestlers to move into something that's not just the Olympics. Like one guy makes it per weight class on the Olympic team. That's all you got.
What do you think of a company or organization and having basically a influencer / celebrity championship? It's open weight, it's any weight, but you have to have like a set amount of followers on socials.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking about this last week because we had the clip go viral about the Mario Lopez and the Tom Hardy. And again, Tom DeBlas comes in and shatters my fucking dreams and basically just says it's not going to happen, so stop talking about it. And it crushes me every time because all this steam gets built up and you just see the people in the comments, I'm going for so-and-so. So-and-so's got it by a mile, blah, blah, blah. Like, people want to see this match. And I started thinking just because of that, I'm like, celebrity boxing, which is
huge,
which is massive. And these people suck.
Yeah.
These people cannot box. You got the Island Boys going out there making a bag and they do the boxing training for like 3 months. And then they get out there and it is trash.
Like what about like Logan Paul, who's a wrestler?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
With a big following.
I think a celebrity, look, I don't want a whole league of it, but I think celebrity matches, or I don't want a whole card of it. Like sometimes they do like a whole, like it'll be like a whole YouTuber boxing card. Like nobody wants to see all that. But popping a fucking celebrity match in like a in a CJI or in one of these RAFs could be good for the business. They're going to bring their massive followings with them. People want to watch that. Oh shit, it's going to happen for real. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. And if this was a work and this does lead to an RAF match between these two, it's going to be huge for the RAF. It will be huge for them. Just like if Tom Hardy and Mario Lopez had a match at like, I don't know, a PGF Superfight or a CJI Superfight, something like that, it would be massive for jiu-jitsu. And I'm not going to fucking get off my soapbox about this match because I want it to happen more than any match that I want in professional jiu-jitsu to happen. There's no rivalry in jiu-jitsu right now that I care about. No,
okay,
I don't think it's
you know
what?
I'm turning it. Like I want a wrestling super fight. And we already know Giorgio's got a big following, right? Boom, big following. Logan Paul used to wrestle. There's about
a size disparity there, bro?
Yeah, but that Giorgio be taking down anybody. He's huge. And he's really high level. His skill level is better than Logan's.
I would say so. Yeah. Because Logan wrestled in high school. Like, I didn't go any further than that.
But that would be sick.
Yeah. Giorgio wrestled in college. I don't know what college he wrestled for, but it was, I believe, a D1 school.
Giorgio has the skills. Like he wrestled. He could have went really high, but he fucking left it in and had to get responsibilities or something. Had to go to like a JUCO. You know what I mean? Like it didn't work out. The little John Jones route. But that would be a sick super fight. Those two. Dude, we're just fantasy booking here. Like I know BMAC don't. What about Brandon McCaffrey? An influencer versus who?
Right.
Versus that guy Nate sent me. That's all over the internet. Whatever his freaking name is. What's his name? The redhead guy that shows the tech videos, but I've never seen him compete. Him. John Davis, I don't know what his name is, something like that, but like I butchered it. But there's a lot of guys in the space that could do it. Like people have said, oh, what about O's Nation versus Jiu-Jitsu? Whatever. Hey, there's fights of influencer style of guys who don't have the credentials but have big followings. I think there's something here to make cool fights, cool matches.
To premise, we're not saying that jiu-jitsu doesn't have the credentials. We know that
he does. Jiu-jitsu has better credentials than me. Nick has won a Master World title. He's competed a high level. He's very, very good. I'm just saying he's not known for his comp. He's known for his takes on jiu-jitsu. He's known for his social media. So don't get that twisted. I'm not. Last time he came in, get all like, oh, he made a rebuttal video. I guess this is credential. I'm not saying that. I've been following you since I was like a blue belt, dude. But what I'm saying is, and you'd probably be the favorite if we fought. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, I think that was when Brandon Schaub fought Cyborg, it got traction.
Right.
Like there's an influencer wing out there. Like that could be cool. Well, we could get Joe Rogan to roll against somebody.
Right.
That would be awesome. What if we could get
Joe Rogan, Aston Kutcher?
Yeah.
Because Joe's short, but he's what, 205-ish?
Right. Or there's a lot of guys who train a lot of these
not that look like
Zuckerberg versus insert somebody. You know what I mean?
We're both blue. I outweigh him probably like 50 pounds, but we're both blue belts.
But I think it'd be cool to have like an influencer wing. I think it would be fun. I think it'd be cool to see guys that people follow for content,
right,
getting after it.
Right. Here's the thing. Just like in boxing, a lot of boxers bitched about the.
What about Alex Welding or Wendling versus Senko?
Isn't Senko like a purple belt or a brown belt?
Brown belt, I think, or black belt. I don't know.
I think Alex is a blue belt.
Yeah, whatever, bro. I don't care. I don't care, dude.
Yeah.
The commentator's getting after it. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a spot for that. I really do think there's a spot to have like influencer super fights between your mega fights.
Yeah.
And you could have like a whole wing of it. I think it'd be pretty cool.
I agree with you. I'm
not saying I want to do it. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm just saying I was just using me as a reference because I couldn't think of any offhand. But you have guys who train.
I think people would bitch. I think people I think people would cry about it the way that they do in boxing because there's like lower tier boxers that, that are, I wouldn't say amateur, but they're like lower level pros. They haven't gotten the exposure of the fights yet, that complain that like these influencers are getting paid more than me and they have less experience. And it's,
he's never won it here and there.
Yeah, but they have a following and they're actually, the difference between them and you is that you are a better boxer, sure, but they have more people that care about them in this fight.
Saying that about the negativity about that guy from that fight, too? It sparked the algorithm. If the people that you do respect fought, you wouldn't even post.
Right.
And so, build your brand with having influencer fights. Yeah. To me, it's been kind of a proven model from the celebrity boxing.
Right.
And then now Logan and Jake Paul doing it on cookie cutter style every once in a while. Even I think Jake Paul gonna get fucking knocked out against Anthony Joshua. But
that's happening?
Yeah, it's happening, bro. That's happening. That's holy shit. Oh boy. If Joshua loses, then I'm like, how much you get paid, bro?
Right. Well, I'm looking. I
what you did to Ngannou?
He's gonna make a fucking bag off of that fight, but whoever is in Jake Paul's camp that didn't immediately tell him not to fucking do that, you should be fired because this is going to be a fucking massacre unless they figured out how to pay Joshua off somehow.
They have some different rules or something.
Yeah, because Joshua is a fucking bro. You're literally going to the top of the heap and you're not even ranked. That's wild. That is wild. And look, I'll tell you right now, Jake, if Jake and I got into a box match, Jake would fuck me up. I'm not saying that I'm a better boxer than you by any means. So, here I am giving my take. I'm just telling you that you're literally going against one of the best guys in the world.
When is the last time you think Joe Rogan rolled? Do you think he still rolls? It's been years since he's like really been about jiu-jitsu. Now, is he a black belt legitimately? Yes, 100%. But I know he's got a bad neck and back and, like all of us.
I'm sure he gets some work in here.
But he doesn't seem like he's like about that life anymore. He's still a good ambassador for it. He still talks about it. He's still
friends with all the right people in it.
But the other match, someone got into octopus sweep and position in the last UFC, and Joe Rogan's like, "What is he doing with his arm?" He's like, "He's in danger here. You better be careful." And if you're a real jiu-jitsu person, you're thinking to yourself, "What do you mean?" Like, no, he's going for an octopus sweep. It was Craig Jones. It was when Craig Jones was cornering
RDS.
Versus Makhachev.
No, not RDS. I'm sorry. Jack.
Versus Makhachev. He went under when he was going for the darts. He kind of went in for like the classic fucking Craig Jones octopus sweep. He got up from the half, and Joe Rogan was like, "What is he doing? Like, why is his hand that way?" And I immediately was like, "Oh no, Joe, you're out of the game. You've been out of the game. You don't even know. This is some new shit. This is some new shit that people are doing now." So it makes me curious. Like he's still a black belt, but he's kind of like an old school black belt. And maybe that high level game is passing him up of the intricacies of it. Cause I'm sure when Eddie was listening to that, Eddie Bravo, he was like, "Oh, Joe, you messed up on that one." You know what I
mean? Yeah. Hey, you know what? I got a random topic. So that when I went to train this last week over at 10 Planet, I went to their comp class, and one of the things that they were working through was what Eddie called his deathbed flows. And so Drew explained this, and he's just like, basically somebody asked Eddie or somehow Eddie, the question was posed to Eddie, and he said, like, if you were on your deathbed and you had to pass on like a core series of moves that define your jiu-jitsu, but also that you feel the next generation has to learn or has to hold on to, what would those be? And so he developed this whole like flow series based off of those moves. And it's making me think like Matt as a black belt, it's a 2nd degree black belt, like a very legit black belt. Like what we'll say in gi, we don't have to go no gi because you're going to have more. And I know that your game is more leaning towards gi. In gi, if you had to say like 5 things that define, and not like guards, but like specific moves, you know what I mean? Like can't just say, oh, lasso, like specifically what in your game are 5 things that you would absolutely have to pass on to your students? Like, do not forget these. These are like, this is my legacy. This is what works for me. This is what leads me to success. Like, this is my path, and I don't want this to be forgotten. Like,
I want my students to have a game plan from standing. I think whatever that may be, but I want them to be able to stand and be comfortable and have, like, I know what lapels I want. I know what grips I want. I know what underhooks, overhooks. I have hours of live training standing. That's one thing I want all my students to have. Also would like them to have double attacks on each position. So whether that's like, I go for the arm, when he grabs the arm, I go for the Kimura, I go for the arm bar, like double attacks from close guard, double attacks from side control, double attacks from multiple positions, I think is important to have. And it's hard to say what move that I want my students to have, because I think a lot of professors, the ones that are very, very good, some of them try to make their students them. And you can't do that. Everybody's body's different. Everybody's built different. Everybody's got different like movements. That's what makes humans amazing. You got to be able to see your student and be like, okay, this guy is not going to be able to do the inversion that I'm so great at. I got to make him better at what he does. So I have to give him the proper tools to excel at those positions. I know some black belt professors who try to make every student them, and I don't see that resonating on the podiums at the tournaments. What I do see resonating is the schools like ours, like Poncho's. A lot of different styles. You go to a checkmat room, you got guys playing De La Hiva, you got guys pulling guard, you got guys standing, you got guys playing lasso, X, so many different games that, because the professors adapt to the student. I think it's a job for the professor to adapt to the student, to give the student the best tools based on that student's attributes physically. So that my thing is, I want to give them a stand-up game plan, because I think so many people start from their knees in schools, whether it's space oriented or not. And then when they get to the tournament, they burn out, their forearms burn out. They've never stood before. It's uncommon ground. It's like, what do you mean we're standing? I've only been practicing stand up for 2 weeks because we've been training on our knees the whole time, especially at low levels. You got to have a stand up game plan. Learn how to pull guard the right way, a good spider guard to get guys off of you, a good technical stand up for if you do get hurt, being able to frame and get up to your knee, get up to standing again. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just core standing fighting, which I think is a big problem in traditional sports jiu-jitsu schools. I don't think people are standing enough in class. because whether it's professor doesn't want students to get hurt and lose money, or it's scary, you know what I mean? So you need to teach your students break falls. You need to teach your students how to fall. You need to teach your students takedowns, and you need to teach them how to pull guard the right way. To me, that's the biggest problem in gi jiu-jitsu is there's a lot of people starting on the deck instead of standing up.
Do you think that some jiu-jitsu schools have gotten too far away from the roots in judo?
For sure. Yeah. Because maybe that professor wasn't a takedown guy. You know what I mean? And so he's like, I'm smaller and I always pull guard. So I teach my students my style because this is what I'm good at. Look there's stuff that I teach that I'm not good at in real life. I know how to do it and I know how to show it, but it's not something I would implement.
Right. You
got to be willing to show that. You got to be willing to have an answer when the guy goes, so the guy puts me in De La Riva. How do I get out of it? It's like, I don't know. I got a bad knee. I don't play De La Riva. Was that a good answer? That's a horrible answer. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you got to, turn your foot. You got to push the foot to the ground. You got to, put it between your, whatever. You got to be able to evolve and have an answer. Maybe it's not the greatest answer for every position, but it's an answer to get them moving on somewhere else.
I've said this before, and I'm just going to say it again. One of the things that I like most about my professor, Jason Medina, whom you know well, is he does very much have a game that he's known for, but he also understands that as an owner of a school and as a head professor and as somebody who does have multiple students that compete at this point, and as a growing school and as guy, he's now has brown belts and purple belts under him. Like, he started the school from scratch, so it took a while to get to this point. But like now he's realizing like I have people that are developing a game that doesn't necessarily mirror mine, and I have to be able to take them to the next level. So he is actively researching and trying to learn how he can be better at certain things that his students enjoy so that he can effectively teach them those techniques and give them the right answers that they may be seeking. And I don't think that a lot of professors do that. I think that you're really fortunate and that you have someone like Poncho who is very skilled. Right. And the crazy thing is though he is a very large man, he can play the large man game, but he can also play a game that would typically be considered a smaller man's game. Mm-hmm. He has that ability and that skill and that technical set. I think that's where somebody like a Danaher ends up being a phenomenal example of that. Like he's so well versed and he's like committed his entire life to just being the best professor that he can possibly be, because he knows that I'm going to be coaching all these guys at different strengths, different attributes, but they're all at the highest level. So I have to be able to show everything at the highest level.
It's kind of an ego check a little bit. So I don't own my own school as of now, but you got to be able to lean on your friends, when you own a school, and be able to like be a gym manager and a professor of the school. If you own your school and you're a professor, but look, I'm not good at takedowns, but I got a buddy who was a college wrestler.
Right.
Hey guys, I got my friend. He's going to come in and show you this. This is what he does good. Because you're giving your students the best chance to be successful, even if that doesn't mean you're the one showing it. Mm-hmm. And to me, that shows humility. That shows true black belt aura, to respect. You know what I mean? Like, which like to me, when Jason does that, like he's the ultimate like humble jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah. Which
is like, he's like, I don't play lasso. I'm teaching lasso in class. Matt, can you come show some stuff? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's basically a professor. And Jason does know some lasso. Okay. First of all, but like that's your professor going, hey, he does this better than me. And it's hard for a professor to say he does this better than me. Like if I was showing half guard, which I know half guard, but I had a school and I was showing half guard and I was like, I'm trying to show my guy some good half guard. I'd be like, here, I'm gonna see if my buddy Jason from Dedicated will come help you guys here because he knows more about half guard than I know about half guard. He knows the tits details of it. You know what I mean? I just do what I do. You know what I mean?
Right.
That shows humility as a black belt, saying this guy's better than me at that, but I want to give you guys the best chance. And I think professors and black belts need to realize that, like, I don't think your students look less of you like, oh, he brought outside help in. I don't think that's the case at all. I think they respect it, and they're like, oh, it's awesome. Like, look at the reach. My professor can bring people in to help us. Like,
right.
Like a guest speaker like that. I think it's good to do that.
Right. Right. I agree. It's almost like getting kind of a seminar without getting a seminar. You know what I mean? It's just like, look, I'm bringing in a specialist for this because I know that even if I teach the rest of the month, I teach half guard, at least we're getting the best starting off point. And then we can dive into these, some of these things that he's taught slowly over the next 3 weeks. You know what I mean? But at least he's going to come in and just show us, like, look how effective this is.
And that's why I think it's good for professors to still take regular classes at maybe their home school or somewhere else, because you can be like, you'll learn stuff still. If you're always teaching your lower level guys in your school, you kind of can fall maybe into that Rogan where you're like, oh, what's an octopus guard? You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know what that is.
Right.
But when you're still active training or learning. Oh, I'm gonna go to my buddy's school. He teaches there. Oh, look at that. I forgot about that little grip right there in the pants. When he does the half guard, he just grabs that, the little details. Like, I'm going to take that back to my students. Like, it's always good to keep embracing and devouring the knowledge from your peers. So, and sometimes I guess in the Midwest, that might be hard because you're so far away from everybody else, and I've seen guys get lost on the shuffle. I've seen guys move and go train at some place where jiu-jitsu is not as prevalent. And then they come back and they're like, bro, everybody's way better than me. It's not that you weren't training, because you were still putting hard training, but you weren't getting it at the level of the mega cities or the mega locations where jiu-jitsu is based.
Yeah. We've talked about this multiple times. Like, we live in a really fortunate area. Like, Matt and I live in like small towns. I'm air quoting that, in California. But it's like just south of us, 45 minutes, is San Diego, which is a jiu-jitsu mecca. And then west of us, 45 minutes to an hour, is Orange County, another jiu-jitsu mecca. And just northwest of us, an hour and a half to 2 hours, is Los Angeles, another jiu-jitsu mecca. Like, we live within three very specific.
And in Vegas, 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And world-class jiu-jitsu in all of those places. And not just like, oh, there's just one gym in San Diego that's no, there's multiple gyms in San Diego that are known for being world-class. There's multiple gyms in Orange County that are known for being world-class. Same thing with LA and Vegas. And like, so we're really fortunate that we're like.
So if you're like, well, I can't just go train, I have to drop on the snowmobile. Like, I get it, bro. That sucks.
Right.
Like, we're not, I get it. It's not, for us, it works. But like, it's good to keep training and keep learning and keep growing, even at black belt level. It's good to be humble and ask for help and, take it when you can get it. Like, I think that's the biggest part. Like, losing to your students can be a real problem. Like, for some professors, like, I don't want my students to beat me. And then you're going to start avoiding your students. That's a horrible idea. Like, roll. There's sometimes you lose. If you lose to your student, like, oh man, that sucks. But like, it means your jiu-jitsu is helping him.
Right. Especially if you're the professor that doesn't do what Matt says and you don't go seek outside looks at jiu-jitsu, and you've got an aggressive student that's competitive and he loves jiu-jitsu and he's obsessed with it. And he is traveling to a random open mat to get some different work in. He is watching the instructionals at home that maybe you don't own as a professor, and he is getting those different. So now all of a sudden he's throwing new shit at you that you aren't familiar with, and you're doing your best as a black belt with a high level to mitigate that stuff, and you might be able to stuff a lot of it, but all of a sudden it's making you think in a way that you've never thought before, and you might not lose that round, but it wasn't easy the way that the round before him was. Yeah, from the other brown belt, you know what I mean? It's just like, these guys are different, and it's just like, oh fuck, like maybe I can't let I can't rest on my laurels and I can't slip. That's what when everybody says that, like, when you get to black belt, like, that's day one now. Like, this is what we mean. And I'm not anywhere near black belt, but what I'm saying is I understand this concept of it's not your stopping point. It's now you are considered technically proficient at the whole skill set, but you are a master of none yet. Now is the time to go dive deeper into all those things. Like, you have a good basis of everything, but now let's take everything to the next level.
I mean, about 5-6 months ago, I was rolling with Big Sam. Big Sam is a student that trains at our gym and I teach. He hit me up on YouTube like, dude, love your content, love your big guy content. I would love to train with you. I'm like, anytime, shows up. We roll, everything is good. About 3 years in, Sam's now a very good purple belt. And I go for a takedown. I miss it. I fall. I end up on the bottom. And girl, you're in danger. Sam's a fucking problem, dude. So, like, I'm in a bad spot. And I'm trying to use my escapes. I'm trying to get out. But sometimes when you got three clicks on you, laying on you sideways, and he knows how to move his hips and he knows positions, you know what happened to your boy O Nation that round? I lost. That's what fucking happened. I was stuck inside. I got the half guard back, but that was like, he passed. I got to my half guard back and the timer went off. And I was like, well, shit happens sometimes. You know what I mean? Did Sam quit coming to my class? Like, I'm better than him now. I can't go to Matt's class no more. No, he comes all the time and he's a problem to roll with. And I'm fucking proud of him for getting so good. That's just what you got to do. You just got to take your wins, take your losses, and keep evolving the guys, because you're building more than just your student professor. You're building friendships. So I'm not afraid to lose to my guys. JB fucking half guard swept me 2 weeks ago. I'm like, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like,
yeah. JB's a monster. He's another guy that's obsessed with jiu-jitsu. It's also great to know that Sam does come all the time.
All the time. Comes all of the time. All over the place. No, I'm just joking. Just not on the mats. We got questions. We got a couple, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We do. Let's see what we got here. This one was from Josh. It says, hey guys, 38-year-old burrito big with Team Sierra Costa, Canada. I hope.
Bonjour.
I was promoted to purple belt pimp status last weekend. My jiu-jitsu is mediocre at best. I know my coach wouldn't promote me unless he felt that I was ready and I'm able to hang with the other purple belts, but I still feel undeserving. Any suggestions on how to combat the imposter syndrome?
Your belt is heavy, bro. It's supposed to be. You get a heavy belt. It's not supposed to. Any belt you get when you first get it, you're like, this is not. I don't deserve this. It's supposed to be a little scary. You take that scare, you take that fear, and you just like, right away, I would go into a tournament. I would get into a purple belt tournament right away, and I would compete. And all it takes is one win at a tournament. You don't even have to podium. You don't even have to do anything. One win or a hard fight with somebody. Say you don't win. It's just a hard match. You're like, dude, he didn't smoke me. I was in that fight. Your confidence will be right there.
Right.
You are, if your professor is legit, you are what your professor says he is. Period. No. If he says you're a blue, you're a blue. If he says you're a purple, you're a purple. So congrats on that, and just keep going.
I feel like I've been ready for the next step for a while. Again, I don't make that decision, but I'm just saying I feel confident in my abilities at this point. Whereas when I got promoted to blue, there was definitely some imposter syndrome there. But I don't know that I'm going to feel that same way when I actually get it. That imposter syndrome may very well be inescapable, and it may just come anyway. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you right now, if you went and competed at a blue belt tournament right now, would you feel pretty confident you're going to get some W's?
Very.
So now I promoted the purple belt. Boom. Going to IBJJF, and you're going against a guy with 3-4 last names. Are you confident? You're a little nervous. Something there. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It'd be better if it's blue, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be there a little bit.
I'm going to win or run through the division at purple. No. Do I think
it'll be a good match?
Can I score some points at least? Yeah. I think so. I think I can get a sweep.
But there's a little bit like, man, a blue belt, I definitely think I could podium on this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now it's like, oh, I don't know. I'm going to try my best. I belong here, but let's see. That means it's going to be a little heavy, but that means you're ready also.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah,
fair.
I mean, it's going to feel every time you get, when I got a black belt, I was like, oh, I knew I was ready. I was begging for my black belt. I was, you know what I mean? Like I knew I was deserving of it. When I got it, I was like, oh, okay. Now there's a whole different type of fears, you know, and I had to get through it. We just talked about fear of losing to people lower than me, fear of letting my students down, fear of competing for the first time. You know what I mean? Like, especially when you get the brown belt, like, oh, now they can attack your feet. That's always a big thing. That's always a big thing. On brown belt, now they can bicep slice me and calf slice me and attack my feet. Like, oh no, it's kind of like what do you mean attack my feet? It's kind of like a fear thing. You know what I mean? So there's like always fears at every belt.
Reckless 10P. What's something you guys are looking forward to next year for the BJJ Balance podcast?
Go ahead. What do you think?
I would say getting paid, but not as in like a fuck you pay me way, as in I think Matt and I have worked ourselves to the point where there's money to be made in this. And I think that with some income coming into the podcast, it will open up more opportunities for us to do things. Mm-hmm. You know, we both have other jobs. I don't think either of us are quitting in the next year, quitting our careers and going full-time podcaster. That's just not feasible. But
if we ever do, you get multiple podcasts in a week. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put that right now. If this ever pays enough to where it's like, you guys don't got to work no more. Oh, if Matt and Kenny will be giving you at least 2
Monday,
podcasts
Wednesday,
a week.
Friday for sure. You're going to Monday.
Yeah,
Wednesday,
we're going to get some. You know what I mean? We're going to make it worth your while.
Yeah. But I do think it would be cool. Like, I don't know. I think we're good on camera gear at this point. I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, Kenny.
But I think if we had like a consistent income coming in and we were able to rent a studio space, you know what I mean? And have our gear set up there to where it's not like, you know, and let's say in the studio space, there's even a place for the kids to hang out.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
A studio spot would be nice. Some mats, demos, green screen, the whole thing. Like that'd be kind of cool. I would like that. I would like this to do some on location stuff. I want to do some more on location stuff this year. I would like to do like live podcasts. I would like gyms to be like, dude, we can hire these guys and they will come and they will sit and they will do a podcast during our class, or they will do a podcast during our in-house tournament.
Yeah.
I would think that'd be cool. It'd be cool for us to be able to like hang out with you guys, do like commentate on your guys' matches, talk, have you guys hang out with, ask your questions live, and then like all go get like sushi and shit afterwards. Like make a whole experience about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that would be cool. That's something I would like to do this year.
Which I think what I think is best about that is something that we've always prided ourselves on with this podcast is the vibe of the podcast. And we've always said this is what it's like to hang out with your boys after class. You're talking jiu-jitsu, but you're also talking live. You're sharing, you know, like maybe you've got a guy that you're really close with in jiu-jitsu class and something bad happened. You're like, let me trauma dump on you my week and like get your take on it. Like that's very much what this podcast is. It's supposed to feel like an extension of after class hanging out with your boys that you already have a rapport with. And we've worked really hard to curate that experience for you. And I think by having a live experience like that would just be the next step. You know what I mean? Like that's just proving that like now you are hanging out with your boys after class. Like we used to joke in the beginning, like, what do we call our listener base? You know what I mean? Like the nation, the this, the that, or whatever. I think it's just the boys. Even if you're a girl, like you're just one of the boys. Like when it's podcast time, like come hang with your boys. Like that's what we're here for. That's what this is. And, you know,
I've seen other shows. I've seen other shows go, don't look at the camera. You're talking. Don't do this. Like I'm like, and that's a way of doing it. I was like, but to me, like when I look at you guys like this, or Kenny looks over at you guys, it's because you're here with us. We're just chilling. We're just all chilling. Like,
right. We're sitting in a circle.
You're
talking shit.
You're part of the
circle.
You're part of the show. Like I look at you guys, I talk to you guys, like I'm talking to you. You're right here with me. We're just all bullshitting. So like, to me, like I try to make it that way.
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel like you're watching two guys talk. I like it to feel like I'm hanging out while these two dudes talk, and I'm just chilling there. We're all like just bullshitting. So that's what I want it to feel like. That was the goal from the first time me and Kenny said, hey, you want to do a podcast? That was our, right after episode 1, the BJJ Blind Day, shout out, still up on the charts. We got together like, wow, that was fun. I was like, well, what do we need to do? And I think that next conversation was like, I want it to be an after the gym hangout.
Right.
So
I
want to go on location this year. I want to go on location this year. That's what I want to do. We tried some interviews in the past, and it worked, but it wasn't the best. We feel like most people that tune into this are tuning in for us, to hear us. And there was somebody that left a comment a couple of weeks ago on the Spotify, and they were just like, these guys have no flow, and they're just talking. They just like, these guys like to hear themselves talk. Trust me, I don't like to hear myself talk. I like to have conversations with my best friend, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm glad that you guys enjoy listening to me having conversations with my best friend. And the cool thing about that is Matt and I talk all day, every day. And yet we still are able to sit here and have like these conversations. We just know, like, when we're having our conversations during the week, like there's certain things that, like, in my head, like, I could talk to Matt about that right now. No, I'm going to save that for Saturday, you know? Yeah.
And there's just certain things that we know that, like, it'll be good to talk about on the pod. So we just don't talk about those things, but it's not like we don't say like, hey, I want to talk about this week, and you cool? Like, let's, you know, like we just save it, you know? And
the guests we have on here are our friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Personal friends or people.
Yes.
Like if we become friends with you, like, yeah, then we know that when you come on here, you're just going to fit right in. When B-Mac comes on here, he's taking his shirt off. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, we're just friends, just talking and getting out. We'll let you get your stuff in, but we want you to be part of the show. I think, and look at me, this is really Matt's to shitting on Rogan Day. I think Joe Rogan, he is the greatest podcaster of all time. He has the greatest podcast ever made. Everybody can agree. No one's disputing that. But I think just because Joe Rogan does the interview style, that doesn't mean that that's the right way to do it. Just because he's amazing at it, he's a great talker, and he can talk a lot of subjects, and it works for him. Getting guests, especially in the jiu-jitsu space, I don't think resonates as much as you think. You're going to get like, yeah, their followers are going to maybe listen, and his friends, and then, but like, I think people want to know the people. They want to know the hosts, because there's only 4 or 5 mega popular guys in this space, and they just want to know the hosts and hang out. Like, they don't really care if we had Hicks and Gracie on here, people would be like, oh man, they talked to Hicks and Gracie. I want to see what they would think. I want to hear Hicks and Gracie's take on this match. No, they want to see, I want to see what Matt and Kenny ask Hicks and Gracie. Right. Why? Right. Because you guys are, I feel, come for the hosts now. Not for, I want to see what Hicks and Gracie takes. And now I'm going to go what's his next podcast. I'm going to follow Hickson around to all his podcast tour. Maybe some people do that, but I don't think they do. Joe Rogan is the star of his podcast. 99.9% of the time, he's the most famous, and he's the one. And when he has someone on there that he's debating or talking with, people want to see what Joe Rogan has to say to that person. They don't want to see what that person has to talk about to Joe Rogan. So I feel like
when Matt and I actually do set interviews up infrequently as they are, what we tell the guests is, look, it's not going to be your typical, like, come on here and tell your story. Because I'm sure if we're having you on, you've already told your story somewhere else.
The people following you know it.
Yeah. We want you to come on here and be a part of the podcast with us. You're part of the listener questions too. When we ask the listener question, we want your take on it, guest. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we are joking, like, we're going to poke fun. We're going to joke at you. We're going to make fun of some shit. We're going to ask you the wild questions. We're going to get B-Mac to take his shirt off. Like when the fuck has that ever happened? And
there's nothing worse, Kenny, than watching a Spider-Man movie and we have to watch Uncle Ben die again.
Right.
We fucking know he dies. Right. We know. We heard it on the other podcasts. Right. We heard it on all the other movies. We've seen it.
Right.
Let's just go from here and then just be a part of it. That's what we like.
So to go back, what do we want in 2026? We'd like to do some remote stuff. We'd like to make some money. We'd like to be able to pour back into this and just elevate it in other ways. And if there's look, we're not expecting to make a ton of money with this next year, but if I'm able to like take my family to Disneyland or like to go out to dinner, and it was like I was able to afford this $500 day on the podcast, that's a success for me, because up to this point, it's never paid for anything in my fucking life.
No, yeah, no.
I am dumping money into this podcast. Matt is dumping money into this podcast. So for this podcast to put some money back in our pockets would be fucking phenomenal. Is it going to pay my car payment? Is it going to? No. But will it allow me to like to share my spoils with my family, like the thing that I work for every day? That's awesome. You know what I mean? If Matt and I were able to plan, like, dude, we got a little bit of money. Let's do a family trip to Disneyland. Let's get a hotel.
Or we get to where we're sick, right? And we don't have any PTO. Like, bro, I got to go to work. I feel like, dog, I can't get paid. I got to go. And you're like, bro, I'm dog. It's like, hey, I just got to take some money from the pod. I want to take some money from the pod.
Right.
Pay your sick day if you're real sick. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff. Like freedom. That's it. A little bit.
Yeah. Totally.
Just a little bit of breathing room, like in jiu-jitsu. Just get a hand in there, you know?
Frame. Yeah. 2026, we're trying to make a frame.
Yep.
Official San Diego Steve, who is the best, Prime Rickson or Buchecha, and why is it Rickson?
I don't think it's Rickson. As much as Rickson's a goat and phenomenal, there's a reason the weight classes exists. I think Buchecha's more athletic than Rickson, even in Rickson's prime. I am not shitting on Rickson Gracie, who is the Babe Ruth of jiu-jitsu, in my opinion. But Buchecha, genetically superior and athletic. I've never seen a man lose a scramble, really. You know what I mean? I guess that one time against Hodger when he took his back, but I don't know, man. Buchecha's tough to beat. Good on the standing, good off his back, good everywhere, good in deep half. Way bigger.
Yeah, Buchecha's an imposing figure.
It's not like the Jordan LeBron where it's like I would still say Jordan because it was different areas of jiu-jitsu. Buchecha was Rickson was doing a lot of jiu-jitsu when a lot of people didn't even know jiu-jitsu yet, and he was winning a lot of stuff. I think Rickson would roll in his prime against Buchecha. I don't think it would be an easy fight by any means.
Yeah, but
the blast double and the Buchecha, I would say I would bet any dollar amount that Buchecha gets that W.
That's fair. Follow-up question from official San Diego Steve: hot or not, it's all jiu-jitsu. The country name in front of it just acknowledges the innovation.
I didn't understand this one.
I think he's saying the argument of American jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, actual jiu-jitsu from Japan. Like, jiu-jitsu is not a Brazilian word. You know what I mean? Like,
to me, it's Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's always been Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And then those books talking saying it's not, and this, and I know the sport's evolving and people are changing it. And to me, I learned Brazilian jiu-jitsu. When I signed up to train this, I looked for Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I asked Jeeves, where can I train Brazilian jiu-jitsu?
Did you really go to ask Jeeves?
That's how long ago it was, guys. And it sent me.
That is a fucking reference that like only the upper age of our audience is going to grasp that one.
Yeah. And so I found it. Like, so to me, it's always been Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You can call fucking, whatever Chris Fox said, you stick a T-bone up a butcher's ass, but whatever, dude. It's Brazilian jiu-jitsu to me. To me, always has been. People ask if I open a school someday, it'll be Host Nation BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's what it'll be called. And that's just what it'll be. Like, I don't, that's what I learned. That's what my professor calls it. And I'm learning under him. And he calls it Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's it. I learned from Brazilian dudes who pronounce the word sheet. That they are, you know what I mean?
You know what? Maybe you have that take though, because you did and you do learn from a Brazilian. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of guys are learning, a lot of guys learning jiu-jitsu in America are further down.
Oh, your guy's American, right? So Jason's learning from a Brazilian, right?
Yeah, but Jason has exact same reverence for it that you do.
Yeah,
it's because he learned it from the same guy you learned it from. You know what I mean? Yeah. So let's say if Jason has a black belt someday, has a black belt that goes on to open his own school, will they have the same reverence for Brazilians the way that Jason does and that you do? Well, and I would say if it were me personally, because this kind of a question territory got brought up last week in regard, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, in regards to the old guard, turning away when you tie your belt and not asking a black belt to roll and things like that. Look, my professor has never told me to do any of those things, but they are things that, like, maybe it's just because I come from a military background. Maybe it's because I just come from like a background of like respect for your elders or respect for things in general, right? When Matt and I have had conversations in the past, be it on the pod, off the pod, whatever, and Matt has brought up those things, those are things where I really thought about them. And I didn't just like go willy-nilly implement them, but I have done things like that where it's like, do I 100% of the time turn my back to the professor when I'm tying my belt? No. Do I do it most of the time? Yeah. Has my professor ever mentioned anything in regards to that period, whether it be to do it or not to do it? Absolutely not. He's never said it or anything like that. I've done it because as it was explained to me, I thought like, wow, that does make sense. And I do have respect for my professor. And even though he's my friend, like when I'm at the gym, he's my boy. But when class starts, that's Professor Jason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When class is over, that's my boy Jason. That's the guy that tattooed me today. You know what I mean? That's the guy that he's Uncle Jay to my daughter. Like he's close to my family. It's my wife's best friend of 20 years. Like I have reverence for him when we're on the mats and class starts as something, as what he is, what he's earned and what he's deserved, that title, that professor. You know what I mean? Like he's not just coach to me. Right. I don't call him that. If I ask a question in class, I raise my hand, I say professor. You know what I mean? Like even though like I know his kids, I know his fiance, like I've met his mom and his dad and et cetera. Like I do it out of reverence and I do it out of respect because again, early in my life, I did train a more traditional martial art. And I'm not to say that jiu-jitsu is not traditional, but what I mean by that is, you know, when you were in a taekwondo class and you were like in a strict taekwondo class, it's like you have the tenets of taekwondo. It's courtesy, integrity, respect, perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit. Like they teach you all the things. They go over the things. You talk about them. You bow in, you bow out, things like that. Like there is like a regimented, like, and those are things that I always took to heart. Like, and as I got older and I wasn't training jiu-jitsu, but I just saw MMA. I'm like, man, you know what bothers me about MMA is a lot of those fighters don't hold the values of traditional martial arts.
They're mercenaries. MMA fighters are mercenaries in the game because GSP found the blueprint, and the blueprint for being a great fighter in MMA is to hire a boxing coach here, hire a wrestling coach here, take gymnastics over here, find the best jiu-jitsu guy over here, and you just freelance your skills instead of getting a one-stop shop where you can grow that way. He was the first one to pay different people, Freddie Roach and all these different guys, to make him the most elite fighter that he could be. And they figured out that is the right way to do it. So some guys still have one team in little gyms like Stipe and all that kind of stuff, but that's dying. So they're mercenaries. They will find their work. They have to win. You have to win. You have to find your smoke. And if I was doing MMA, I'd probably do the same thing. I got Poncho for jiu-jitsu. I'm going to go for stand up. I'm going to find somebody else. And for wrestling, I'm going to go, you know what I mean? Like you have to do that. Right. So that MMA has kind of ruined that respect thing when it comes to loyalty. And if you're trying to take the MMA approach in jiu-jitsu, that's where the wall comes, because there's so many people who still follow the respect.
Yeah.
And that's where lineage of your professor matters.
Right. And I don't disagree with any of that. And I know people will sit here and argue that, and you're going to have your Sam Gayers that get on here and they're just like, no, that's bullshit. And belts are bullshit. And all that matters is skill and da-da-da. And I don't know if maybe does Sam come from like a wrestling background where I can see like somebody that has like a collegiate wrestling background.
I think he
like
does.
that you could have that train and that mindset, you know what I mean? Because there isn't a belt system in
Well,
wrestling.
he's no-gi. He's a no-gi.
It's just a grind.
He's a no-gi guy. You know, no-gi guys don't like the belts.
Right.
Because the belts are cool. The belts are cool. The belts are cool. It's cool to be a black. Hey,
yeah,
it's cool to be a black belt. There's nothing. Every day I wake up and I see that fucking thing there, and it's fucking pretty cool to look at. And it was hard to get, and it's cool to be a black. And I know you no-gi guys. I know you're like, the belt doesn't matter. It's just 2-inch piece of fabric around your ass cheek. Yeah, but it's a black piece of fabric around my ass cheeks, and it's fucking cool. And it took a lot to get, and a lot of sacrifice, and broken fingers, and surgeries, and pain, and frustration, and being mad, and angry girlfriends, and dumped girlfriends, and a lot of financial sacrifice to get. So you guys can shit on the gi, you can shit on the belt all you want, but there's a reason why you guys started putting belts in no gi, because it's cool to have that status. So you can't shit on it. You can't. You can't. It's hard to get. It's not easy. And people love it. So all the no-gi guys that come out and just talk a lot of shit like it doesn't matter, you're wrong. You're fucking wrong. It does matter. It's cool.
Yeah.
Period.
I agree.
Every day I fucking wake up and I'm like, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Fuck off. That's fucking cool. I don't know. Like, fuck. I worked hard for it.
Yeah.
It's my biggest accomplishment athletically.
Yeah. That's cool. I agree.
I cried. God damn it.
Did you really?
When I called my name, I knew I was getting called. I knew I was going to call my name. Still got fucking emotional. Fucking worked hard for that thing. I was paying for jiu-jitsu when I couldn't afford to pay for jiu-jitsu. That's how fucking hard I was working for it. Fucking, I guess I'll pay the electric bill next month. Dues are paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was a sacrifice. There's more sacrifice in that belt. It's more than just the skills on the mat. The sacrifice behind the scenes for your family, for your life, for your body, for your work, for your schedule, for your diet, for everything to get that belt, it means something. And for the no-gis guys to be like, the belts don't even matter. They do. They do matter because it's cool to have them. And it does matter when you have them. You guys just don't have any. And you're doing all no-gi, and that's fine. And you are getting good. That's great. And you are good. Ask Chris Olivo, who's a no-gi professional fighter. I guarantee you he is so proud of his fucking black belt that he got from Drysdale.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's fucking hard to get. And when your professor is legit as fuck, and he says, you are a black belt under me, and I'm a black belt under Leo Vieira, and then he's a black... That is fucking cool, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Right. Yeah. And maybe that's part of it too. Maybe some of it is jealousy because your lineage, maybe the people that say that lineage doesn't matter, maybe they say that because their lineage isn't great.
What if you say you're a Danaher black belt? That's cool.
Yeah.
A Hickson black belt. That's fucking cool.
A Henzo black belt.
Sick.
Yeah. Nobody questions that.
Half Gracie black belt. Sick.
Yeah. Hodge Gracie.
Yeah, bro. That's fucking elite status.
Right.
The name of who you got under is elite status.
Andre Galvao black belt. If you say something like that to a real jiu-jitsu person,
like, oh shit, they're
not even going to question you. They're going to know that your skill level is at least at a certain level.
And if you have a guy who's like, Jeff, I'm a Jeff's jiu-jitsu black belt. Like, oh, I've never heard of that. He's a black belt under Galvao. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Okay. Right. Still carries the weight because he don't give out free belts. So he got his shit under Galvao. Now Galvao that still matters.
100%.
It still carries, bro. It's like, oh, that's the lineage. Oh, that's the tree. Oh, very cool. Every time I post, what's your lineage? I'll do it. I'm going to do it. I'll do it today. What's your lineage in jiu-jitsu? And I post mine. It has all these crazy names and then fucking meme O's Nation at the bottom. You know what I mean? Everybody post theirs. Boom, the comments get flooded. It's like an instant flood. I'm going to collab with the pod. I'm going to do that today. You guys are already going to know. Just go back a couple fucking posts. You'll see it there because this is posted on Tuesday, but you're going to see. It's fucking kills every time.
That's it for questions, brother.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Being a battle rapper is the hardest thing I've ever done.
Hey, Kenny.
We're not going into it though.
Next time we're talking about Kenny was a battle rapper one time. I was not expecting that. Aim for the bushes. My name is Matt at O's Nation BJJ. Follow us on all our socials. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Like Kenny said, if you watch on YouTube, go to Spotify and subscribe. If you watch on Spotify, go to YouTube and subscribe. Help your boys out. We appreciate you guys. Facebook, TikTok, I post. Kenny don't. Have a good week. Aim for the stars. That was gay. I'm sorry for saying that. Have a good one.